No. 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 Yes. Thank you, kind sir and kind Jagex. Oh, but where's my signet? Hey guys, welcome to the penultimate episode of Road to Full Sirenic via Ascensions. And I'm not quite sure how to react to this episode, but to be honest, I've thoroughly enjoyed the series so far and would quite like it to last longer. But on the other hand, it's also been a frustrating episode because when I came back after a month's break for exams, I don't know what I was thinking as I jumped straight into the lair of Quintus and got absolutely destroyed, hands down. I probably died around 10 times to Quintus. It was that bad as I was horribly out of it, and that simply deflated my morale completely. But having said that, I quickly found my mojo again as I started off with the easier bosses after a short break to refocus, and the signets also started to flow for the first crossbow, which was a very pleasant surprise, because if you remember at the end of the previous episode, I predicted that this would be the episode of the huge key counts, but thankfully that didn't quite happen. The highlight of the first bow was probably getting the Quintus signet alongside a Sirenic scale, which you could probably see in the background, and I only used up very few Quintus keys. I mean, look at it from my point of view, right? So I die God knows how many times at Quintus because it's the first one I do after a long break. I get all the other 5 signets, come back to Quintus to get it last, and then get the Quintus signet with a scale, so a double whammy. And the best part is that less than half the keys I used for Quintus were actual kills, so most of the keys were used in failed kills because I died. So you can imagine my fear that this could have turned out to be a long one, like one of the keys that I died in could have been a signet. So I was quite scared that it would turn out to be a really long signet, but thankfully not. So for the first time I decided not to immediately make the bow before going for the second bow of the episode, because obviously I make 2 bows every episode, and this was partly because I felt that I had enough money to buy the required keys for the second bow, but obviously that was a big risk in case something like that Ascension series with Sumo happened, where I lost 100 mil and spent God knows how many keys. But also it was partly because I've never seen 2 of the same signet in my bank before, so I wanted to see that. But if that bow was the bow of frustration, if the first bow was, then this second bow of the episode was a bow of trolling. No wait, the bow of Gothics actually, Truly Gothics, which is kind of appropriate I think. If you guys don't know, Truly Gothics is a good friend of ours, and he's renowned for his pranks and trolls, especially aimed at Canman. Thankfully I am not his primary target. But yeah, because the main feature of this bow was getting probably 15 golden beams of light, and obviously only 6 of them were signets, you might be able to understand how badly I was trolled by the legions, also considering that I don't have beams of light activated for Sirenic scales. So for example, when I was doing a Tertius trip, I got 3 beams of light within 5 kills, and all of them were key drops. And I also got 2 scales in that trip, so all in all I got 5 good drops that trip, but none of them were signets. Also, the second half of this signet hunt was after Legacy came out, so I tried some Tertius kills in Legacy, but it was really slow, so I just used EOC in the end. But one of the real problems was that there were 2 types of way my internet would behave. One type was where there were no problems at all. I could move around the laboratories, that's what they're called, that's what the arenas are called, without any delay or lag. But the other type was where I would have to spam the hell out of the ground to move my ass, because yeah, that's how I kept dying. But all in all, this was another decent bow in the end, so I can't complain too much. But the last signet did threaten to clean my bank once more, but thankfully I managed to snipe it in time. Now the time has come to make and sell the bows. Time to get all these signets together and make the bows, and then sell it to a very special person. Guess who that's going to be?
Well, you already said it would be me, so...
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you can see here I've got 80 scales. I'll show you the summary later, but yeah, almost there. Almost there. Okay, guys, I'll meet you there. Here is Ken Manu, the great #1 pro, and I forced him to buy the Ascensions off me and not from the G, so let's make it.
Lol.
There we go, that's 1. That's 2, and now I need to convert one of them into an offhand. There we go, that's done. And let's trade it over to Can Manu. It's 13S, not complaint, 183S, sorry. So 366 for both, please. Not complaining, it rose like 4 mil overnight. So thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope you enjoyed that. Put that to good use.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice one, man. Nice one. To pros, guys, to pros. I'm wasting my aura, let's go back to skilling. Don't worry, guys, no XP waste from Zen over here. I did go and use that aura, but anyway, thanks to Can and waiting to sell the boat until they got to over 180 mil again, I profited quite handsomely. Definitely one of the best episodes in terms of profits. And the first bow was a real success actually, because I managed to get lucky with the most expensive signets, which was not the case in the previous episode. And I also managed to grab both the dragon crossbows needed to make the Ascension crossbow for just 11 mil each when Ascensions crashed straight after Legacy came out. And I'm pretty sure that spending of less than 100 mil, that 99.6 mil spending, is probably the least I've ever spent to make a single crossbow. So that is pretty good. The second bow of the episode wasn't so great though, but I still managed to get a very nice profit of 65 mil. And Primus only died twice before giving me his signet, so that was insane. I don't think I've ever had a signet of the first kill of a bow yet, of a legion yet, so that's yet to come. But I've had a signet of the second kill of a legion twice, I think, so that's good. And that was insane because his keys are really expensive, and I also believe that I got the Secundus signet of the first kill of the day when I did it, despite it taking 103 keys altogether, because obviously I died. So yeah, guys, my least successful bow still remains the 6th bow, which was in the 3rd episode, which gave me a profit of only 28 mil. So hopefully I go the whole series without making a bow with a loss, but I'm pretty sure I jinxed myself by saying that. But let's move on. Let's finish up with the big numbers. The numbers that matter, and after 8 bows I've finally hit the 500 mil profit milestone. Probably the most I've made at a single boss after the Kalfat King, and that's just absolutely insane after what happened in the series with Sumo, where I lost over 100 mil. It just feels so unreal, but in a good way obviously. The average profit has also gone up by 2 mil from the previous episode, and would you believe it, the keys per signet has also gone up minutely, which is a bad thing, but who cares, right? As long as the most keys that you spend are the keys that are least expensive, right? So yeah, that's what happened this episode, so I'm pretty happy with that. I really don't think these numbers are going to change much though, because as you can see, I am so close to the end, and no, I haven't forgotten about the main point of the series. I have just 4 scales left to get. And because I got 22 scales this episode, the averages have improved in the right way for the scales. And yeah, guys, I am 99.99999% sure that I will finish the series in the next episode, probably within getting a couple of signets. But regardless, I will make that one bow, not just leave it with a few signets lying around in my bank when I do get the 84th Sirenic scale to make full Sirenic. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Thank you to Canman again for buying my bows, and see you soon for the final episode. Don't forget to check out the other episode if you like this one, and also the series I did with Sumo. They're all in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys.